First of all, name of Allah. In this JavaScript tutorial, we will learn about calculator app. In body tags, we will use open div element and close the div element, and open div element and close the div element, and need one more div. Open div element and close the div elements. In first div, we will use class attribute use and use calculator. After that, in second div, we will use class attribute use and use display. In third div, we will use class attribute use and use btn. In third div, we need 18 buttons for calculator, and use first button, open button element and close the button element. First button for C, clear, and class attribute use and use btn. Second button for delete, open button element and close the button element, class attribute use and use btn, and done. After that, we will use open button element and close the button element and use class attribute use and use btn, and use on click and append and parenthesis. And we need 16 more button, and copy, paste. Third button used for divide, and fourth button used for asterisk, and fourth button used for 7, and as it is 8 and 9, 4, 5 and 6, plus and 1, 2, 3, and use 0 and concatenate dot and use equal and use class attribute and select to use buttons, and save the file. Go to the browser. We completed basic structure of the calculator. Now we will apply functions for evaluate. Underneath div, we will open script tag and close the script tag and use function and function name, clear, display, parenthesis, open curly brackets and close curly brackets, and function complete. And in curly brackets, we will use display dot inner text dot inner text equal single quotes and use 0. Function name use in clear C button, on click equal double quotes and use function name clear display parentheses. Now we will use function for delete for this button for delete button, and use function and function name delete last parentheses open curly brackets and close curly brackets, and use if condition if parentheses display concatenate use and use inner text and use concatenate and length and use greater than 1. Open curly brackets and close curly brackets. In between curly brackets we will use display inner text display dot inner text equal display dot inner text display dot inner text dot slice and use parentheses and 0 comma hyphen 1 and symbol, else open curly brackets and close curly brackets and use display dot inner text and use equal single quotes and use 0 semicolon. This function name delete last use in delete button. On click and use function name delete last parentheses. Now we will use append character function use for all buttons and use function name append character and parentheses open curly brackets and close curly brackets and use if condition if parentheses display dot inner text concatenate and use inner text equal 3 times and single quotes and 0 open curly brackets and close curly brackets and use display dot inner text and equal character we use and semicolon. After that else open curly brackets and close curly brackets and use display dot inner text and use plus symbol equal and use character and use semicolon. We already used append character function name in all buttons. Now we will use function for equal and remove this function name function and function name calculate result parentheses open curly brackets and close curly brackets and we'll use try curly brackets and close curly brackets, and use display dot inner text, and use equal evaluate and parentheses, remove u and use parentheses, and display dot inner text, semicolon, and use catch, and open curly brackets and close curly brackets, and use display dot inner concatenate inner text, and use equal single quotes, and use error, semicolon. This calculator result function name using copy and use in equal and paste in it, and use append character and parameter use character, we didn't use character and spelling mistake, and didn't use C in every button, as you can see. So we correct the spelling, character, and C use in every button. And character, and use parentheses and forward slash, and use single quotes, and use asterisks, and single quotes 8, and use single quotes 9, and use single quotes, and use hyphen, single quotes, and use 4, and single quotes 5, single quotes 6, and use single quotes plus, and use single quotes 1, and single quotes 2, and single quotes 3, single quotes 0, and concatenate single quotes, and use single quotes equal. As you can see, we use the small letter C, and in function name we use capital letter, and change it in small letter, and save the file, go to the browser, and 7 plus 8 equal 15, multiply 9 equal 135,